That flippy floppy ho!
They got the flippy floppy. Zang-a-lang and salutations, my lovely little lunatics. It's me, your friendly internet psychopath Insanity, here with my co-host Bob.
Hello.
And today, on the ENSane Report, we're talking about the flipping. We're talking about the flopping.
We're talking about Fauci and Facebook.
Oh yeah, wha-bam! From DailyMail.com.
Facebook censorship of Wuhan lab story shows its true ugly colors. Tech giant is condemned for ingratiating itself to China and smothering free speech with ban that's only been dropped after Biden opened a probe.
Yes, because if Trump says it, it's evil, it's wrong.
But now that Biden's in office and they don't have anything left to talk about, may as well actually start telling the truth.
And not even telling the truth, allowing others to have differing opinions.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Yep. Facebook says it will let users comment whether CCP19 leaked from lab. Reversal of policy from February banning posts on harmful misinformation. Any talk of CCP19 leaking from Wuhan lab was called a conspiracy theory. At the time, it was thought that CCP19 was most likely jumped from bats to people. And the best part about it is,
all the actual academics going, no, I don't think so.
Fake news. Doesn't matter that you have actual Nobel prizes. What was the guy who discovered HIV?
Yeah, even he said there's something screwy going on here, and
They were like, fake news, evil, evil. But moving on. But recent reports again suggest the virus may have accidentally leaked from a lab.
You mean the times where people got sick in the lab and how the lab had terrible procedures and it wasn't the first time?
Exactly. Joe Biden on Wednesday ordered U.S. spies to probe origins of the CCP19. Dr. Fauci also suddenly U-turned on the issue, as has the U.S. left-wing media.
Because it's not Trump saying it.
That's all that matters. They wanted to put this around his neck. And they did.
And now so many people we know who were too stupid to understand anything realized that they were stupid. And they'd regret their stupidity.
Will they learn from it?
Probably not.
You never know, though. China has reacted furiously, accusing Biden himself of politicizing the issue and suggesting that U.S. biolab should be investigated instead of the Wuhan one.
Yeah, never trust anything the CCP says.
Nope, never. Facebook was today accused of showing its true and ugly colors and smothering free speech as it scrapped its ban on a post debating whether CCP19 could be man-made, but only after Joe Biden ordered the CIA probe if the virus came from the Wuhan lab. Of course, once again, this is just going to be me basically pushing out the same point over and over again. Mark Zuckerberg's global policy chief Nick Clegg from the former British MP and Liberal Democrat leader has also been branded feeble for allowing months of censorship on the social network. Critics branded Facebook's behavior contemptible and begged them to respect free speech rather than ingratiating themselves with states such as China, which has banned the website but remains a $5 billion a year ad market. Ooh.
That's pretty funny, yeah. They banned you. You're still trying to ingratiate yourself to them.
Yeah, but what they don't care. They'll sell out America in a quarter of a second.
They already do.
Yep. The theory that the CCP19 leaked from a Wuhan lab was originally dismissed by left-leaning media outlets late last year as a conspiracy theory after it was mentioned by Donald Trump, but they now changed course with the launch of U.S. investigation.
There already was a U.S. investigation. I just don't think Trump trusted he spent it, I think he used his own, not the triple digit, not
the three-letter word groups.
Correct. Because he probably didn't trust him.
Yeah, that's what's been said, and I can honestly understand why, especially because they just went after him like crazy. British Conservative MP Peter Bone told Mail Online, "It does seem to me that Facebook is not an open platform for people to put their views on." No! Who would have guessed as such? It is an open platform for people to put their views on as long as they agree with Facebook.
That's all social media. I mean, Twitter, up until like right now, PocketNet, Parler, things like that, Minds. Before then, it was follow the narrative or be deleted.
Their decisions are based on politics, not principle. Of course, once again, this is why 230 needs to be a big thing. Because people weren't doing anything illegal saying, I believe it's this. That's not illegal. That's an opinion. We don't live in China. If they want to take over, if they want to go do what China do, then kick them out of the United States. I really wouldn't miss them. Based on policy. If it is fashionable with the liberal elite, it can go down. If it is the liberal elite say, if it is liberal elite say it must be okay, huh? God. If it's President Trump, they say it must be awful. Yes, and that's going to be, once again, the whole thing behind this. The thing that Trump was saying is exactly the same thing Biden is saying. But Trump was, according to Facebook, not allowed to say that. He's still banned, by the way. Whereas everyone loves Biden from Facebook, therefore it must be right. It is one rule. It is one rule for one political view and another for another. Yes. That is what's going on, and that's the big scary thing about it. They have total control over all of this. But here's another bit of the story.
Okay.
Because there's something called gain-of-function research.
Oh, yeah, that's when they take a disease or whatnot, make it stronger to find a way to defeat it in case it ever came about.
Correct.
What does that have to do? Boom! Okay. Fauci admits modest NIH funding of Wuhan lab but denies gain of function. Why is that a big thing?
Because we're not supposed to do gain of function. I think literally there was a law or something saying, you cannot do this. But if I give them the money,
then they can do with it whatever they want.
Correct. Just like Joey over there gave me $1 million, and I spent that $1 million on building flamethrowers and then blowing things up, despite the fact that he said he wouldn't give money specifically for that, but he gave me money not knowing what I would do with it. So, continuing on. The National Institutes of Health earmarked $600,000 for the Wuhan Institute of Virology over a 5-year period to study whether bat coronaviruses could be transmitted to humans. That's one thing. White House Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci told lawmakers Tuesday, yeah, he needs to be fired.
And there are calls for it.
Yep. Rightfully so. Fauci, the head of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, NIAID, told House Appropriations Subcommittee that the money was funneled to the Chinese lab through the nonprofit EcoHealth Alliance to fund a modest collaboration with very respectable Chinese scientists who were world experts on coronavirus.
Yeah. Also, once again, wasn't that place already having problems?
Yes, it had problems beforehand. But Fauci emphatically denied that the money went towards so-called gain-of-function research, which he describes as taking a virus that could infect humans and making it either more transmissible or pathogenic for humans. That category was not done. Oh, yeah, because we trust what the CCP tells us. After all, in comparison, like, to the actual COVID numbers, the CCP19 numbers, they say there's like nothing, and yet all the stories we hear about are the furnaces, the funeral furnaces are being run constantly. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of urns, and it keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Earlier in the hearing, NIH Director Dr. Francis Collins told Rep. Andy Harris, a Republican, that researchers at the Wuhan lab were not approved by NIH for doing gain-of-function research before adding, we are, of course, not aware of other sources of funds or other activities they might have undertaken outside what our approved grant allowed. That doesn't mean jack. They live in a place halfway across the world with a government that does not care about anyone other than themselves. So I give them $1 billion and go, don't you go spending this on making nuclear weapons. Do I actually believe they're not going to spend the money to make nuclear weapons?
Of course not.
Yeah, but these people don't care. They just don't care. The NIH cut off funding to EcoHealth Alliance in April of last year at the height of the pandemic and over the protests of EcoHealth President Patrick No, Peter Daszak. Yeah, I've got the mush mouth.
You got the Bidens again.
My brain hole. Fauci traced the NIH's interest into bat coronaviruses to the SARS outbreak from earlier 2 decades ago. We had a big scare with SARS back in 2002, 2003, where the particular virus unquestionably went from a bat to an intermediate host to start an epidemic and the pandemic, blah, 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 blah. Yes. You don't want to study bats in Fairfax County, yes, because it is a different breed of bats and all. And they have, well, I think that was another reason why they were saying that, why Taiwan and stuff like that weren't having as many troubles.
Yeah, because they deal with the coronaviruses a lot more than we do here.
Yep. NIH funding of the work at the Wuhan Institute of Virology has come under increasing scrutiny in recent weeks, with Republican Senator like Rand Paul of Kentucky and Tom Cotton of Arkansas accusing Fauci of lying about whether the money was used for gain-of-function research. Meanwhile, the theory that the virus accidentally leaked from the lab, rather spreading from bats to humans via another animal, is gaining increasing acceptance amongst mainstream media. Yes. Now, why? Here's the whole thing in the beginning. Once again, the biggest thing was people tried to say it came from the wet markets. I would not have a problem believing that.
If literally, what was it, miles or even less than that away was this virology lab that had problems before.
And then they talked about the 3 individuals who got terribly sick because they got either attacked or peed on by the animals they were working with. So, but here's the thing. Once again, if you mentioned anything, you would get, let's give it, you would get this little thing. Right here, false information. I still get stuff like that on my videos. Yeah, harmful misinformation of CCP19. But now that Trump is gone, they also CNN's lost 77% viewership. It's tanking all around because they needed Orange Man bad. But Orange Man is gone, and it's still this way. There are still problems. No one knows what's going on. And if it happens again...
Yeah, there will be no lockdowns.
There will. No. No one will deal with that. Because if say this all happens again, and literally, and it's over. There's no way people are going to lock down for this. Because we saw what happened before. We saw our rights get eroded and just ripped from us. And now we're dealing with the consequence. We haven't even dealt with the consequence of all the money that was printed.
Yeah, people still aren't going to work, which is going to cause supply shortages, because why would a person go to work when the government's paying you $16 an hour or so just to sit on your bum and do nothing?
But now it's gotten to that point where they don't care anymore. The lie's been said enough. They're like, okay, fine. We'll maybe admit that our fact checks weren't correct.
Oh, no. Could you think about it? We didn't actually do fact checking. We just found someone who said what we liked and said that they're correct and the other people are wrong.
Despite all actual evidence. Because once again, the big thing here wasn't if people were straight out claiming this happened, that's all there was, then I can understand that. But this was purely if you even thought differently.
The Minority Report thought we're police.
Huh?
Whatever.
Yeah. So you can understand. And now, this is why I don't have Facebook. Except I have that one with all fake information, all that stuff on my burner phone. Same with Instagram and all that. I have everything I need to make sure none of my actual information is being used. And people are getting really tired of dealing with this. Being told by fact checkers that they're wrong. And didn't PolitiFact have to come out recently?
Oh yeah, they had to come out and say, whoopsie, it turns out we didn't actually do our job correctly.
So why are there even fact checkers? It's getting redonkulous. But anyhow, that's the end of this little video. So if you like this video, then check the like button and subscribe for more.
Insanity.
And I will see you all later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.